so many new pieces to this IU football team.
To me, that's going to set the tone on how you get ready for games on Saturday in the fall.
I would put that Indiana room up against anybody else in the conference, and that's something that we typically don't even come close to saying.
If you want to get total sickos committee about it, there's a position battle at long snapper too.
This is the Hoosier Huddle Podcast, part of the College Huddle Podcast Network.
All right, Alex, welcome to the, first maybe successful Indiana football chat with the Hoosier Huddle staff. I wouldn't say this is the first attempt. Hopefully it is the first successful attempt. What was it? Thomas Edison failed to find took him 1,000 times to find the working light bulb. So
that's right.
He found 999 ways not to do an Indiana football chat.
Well, that's right. We found the one, maybe, hopefully, to do it. But yeah, we obviously have the pods. I know you and TJ had the preview pod for Kennesaw already. Sammy and I did after the dust settles a couple nights ago. This is designed to kind of just be hang out. It looks like we have like 30 people watching right now, probably on X. So there is a chat feature on Twitter. So if you're on there, click in there. We kind of just want to hang out, talk Hoosier football, maybe talk some other stuff if people have questions.
Big soccer game going on right now too. IU's up 1-0 over St. Louis. Talking a different kind of football, but with Indiana football, I've been going through the forums and our game thread, and there's a lot of panic, which I think is unfounded, and a lot of it, I've lost faith in Mike Shanahan. I've lost faith. He's the next Walt Bell. Guys, it's been 60 minutes of football in a game that IU should have scored 40 and didn't show anything.
Yeah, they ran 11 plays. Nate and I talked about it too. I mean, they ran, I think, 11 plays on offense, like different plays. So I don't know. I'm like, it was fine. Like, they didn't do anything where I was like, what the hell is going on? Obviously I would have liked to score more, but it's week one.
It's week one. It's the first game. You go back to last year, and people pointed out that the offense struggled against Ohio State and Notre Dame. Yeah. Well, everybody's offense struggled against those two. Yeah. But you go back, it wasn't play calling against Ohio State. It was they couldn't get the ball snapped without having somebody in the quarterback's lap. They didn't snap the ball well on a punt. And then Notre Dame, you get an early interception and you're driving, and Curtis Rourke throws a bad ball into triple coverage and misses a wide open guy that would have gone for a first down. And, if you score points there or score a touchdown there, it's a totally different game. I'm not worried about dropping out of the top 20. That I think people were waiting for that to happen anyway. As soon as IU struggled, they were going to drop. But I will say this: if the struggles continue against Kennesaw State, then I called them yellow flags. Those yellow flags turn to orange and maybe a little red. But I think right now the only kind of red flag you have is safety depth, which you've talked about at length in the off season. So that'll be a topic. Bryson Bonds is out for the year with a knee injury. Dr. Compton was not right on that one in the group chat. No,
that was probably the game day loggers talking a little bit.
Yeah,
I just wanted him. I wanted him to be okay because he's a sixth-year IU guy that's seen a lot of just crap football. Stuck it out, played a ton on special teams, never really, at least from what we can see, complained about his role. Never thought about the portal, at least what we know and what we can see. So, if that's the end of his career, that really sucks. So hopefully, who knows, he can get a red shirt or something, but I have no idea anymore how any of it works, but I don't know.
I don't know if they're going to do seventh year guys anymore. It might be, hey,
just if you're in the SEC and played JUCO, then you can do whatever you want.
I just think it's all coming to an end anyway. Guys, as Kevin Wilson said at Tulsa, guys got to go get a job.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that happened because of injury, but guys, it's time to move on from college ball. Alex, let's talk a little bit about the game day atmosphere. That came up a lot. There are a lot of discussions on it. I was really worried about Hoosier the Bison. I was. And I'll admit I bought into the doom and gloom on social media as soon as the graphics came out and stuff like that. I thought IU did a tremendous job pumping him up until all of a sudden stopped for a couple months, and then they announced. However, the parachuting the mascot in, it's got to be an ROTC guy or girl to parachute by themselves. It has to be somebody with enough jumps. Was awesome. You had the throwback, an updated throwback video with Enter Sandman. He came out, like you said, on After the Dust. You wish that maybe the motorcycle came out closer to where the tunnel where the players come out. But to me, overall, it was great, and the costume looks good. I think they lucked out with the weather. Imagine wearing that when it's 95 degrees out and all that stuff. You would have left by the end of the first quarter, or maybe even before kickoff. But I thought that was terrific. The chant going across the stadium was terrific. But there's just too much going on.
Yeah, I thought overall it was good. Agree. The mascot Hoosier the costume was awesome. So I give the actual suit really good marks. The merch I give
Wi-Fi issues, and I switched over my Wi-Fi, so that's
okay, cool.
That's why our Xfinity stinks, and we have a ton of bouncer offers. I feel like I'm in the IU press box.
But yeah, I mean, Hoosier Bison, the costume is awesome. So that is not easy, like, to design. I've been around that world a little bit. Like, that is not easy to design a suit that is functional and looks really good, that people like, that hopefully stays for a long time. So the suit, I think they nailed. I think that looks really good. They did a good job making it look, fun, but not like goofy. They made him good for kids, but not totally like Disney. So I think overall they did that really well. I loved that.
I think there's a happy medium between scaring kids and
not being like Disney character, which I think they did a really good job with that. I was super fired up that they did not have him in candy stripes for the football game. I was absolutely expecting him to just wear candy stripe pants to everything. So that was great. And then I saw photos on Twitter today from the student athletic board. But he wore like candy stripe overalls to a thing they did last night or the night before. So like that's awesome. Like that.
Yeah, he's been at a whole bunch of events too. He's at soccer tonight. I'm sure he'll be at volleyball this week. And he serves his purpose. It's for the kids, and it's to get people pumped up. So you could get rid of the in-game hype man and move it to kind of an in-game MC or in-game host, where I guess it's more in professional sports where they go around and say, hey, we're coming live from whatever's new in the stadium. Or, hey, we're with Hoosier the Bison getting pictures with fans at halftime and stuff like that. Or you had Trace Jackson Davis there. Interview the players, interview, the coaches from different sports and highlight it that way and get people pumped up, because they'll be pumped up to see Trace on everybody except for Dan Dockage will be pumped to see Trace Jackson Davis.
I saw him on Saturday. I was leaving upstairs pub to walk around the tailgate fields a little bit, and he was getting in a ride with like Galloway and some other guy. It looked like DeVries was with him. So that was cool. Like I like anytime the new guys hang out with some guys that did really well. But other game day things like the chant pregame I thought was really good. Or the idea was really good. Execution, obviously, it was the first time they ever tried it. Northern Illinois actually does something really similar where they have one side of the stadium yell red and the other side yell black, which are their school colors.
Every school does it. Red,
but it was
red,
cool.
black, green, white. IU, Notre Dame, like everybody does it.
Yeah, but it was cool. But like if they do it again, which I think they should, like
just
one side of the cheerleaders need signs that say I, the other ones need just U's. So when it's your turn, you hold up I, then it goes down, then the other side holds up U. Like, but I thought that was fun. Like,
let's talk expectations on this team, because I don't know if they've changed. They've changed for some people, but they have not changed for me until the Illinois game. The expectations, I don't think they played up to the standard that Cignetti set forward, which is, that happens. But the expectations of this team are to make the postseason, be in the conversation for the college football playoff, which we all know is super duper political. But if this team goes 10-2, they should be in the conversation and should be in the playoff, depending on what the two games look like. But expectations wise, watching all the other games around the country, it was kind of on par with that. You saw a lot of teams struggle in openers, and that's what made me nervous about this game. That's what makes me nervous about every opener. You just don't know until you know. But
yeah,
we'll see what did it change your expectations at all?
I don't know. As we talk about this, it looks like we have like 200 people watching right now. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, drop them.
Put them in the chat.
Twitter, YouTube, like we'll see them. They'll pop up on the screen, and some good ones we can put up larger for folks. But I don't know. Expectations, I would say short term for me, I'd like to play more than 5 offensive linemen on Saturday. I'd like to see.
I think that was the plan until the game was.
That's what I'm saying.
Like not over.
That's what I'm saying. So that is my short-term expectation is like you get in a position on Saturday against Kennesaw, your 35-point favorites. You should have a kind of a sour taste in your mouth, which if you told me 2 years ago, like we'd beat a pretty good group of 5 team comfortably, regardless of the scoreboard, that was a comfortable win. And we'd all be kind of ticked off about it. I'd be like, okay, like I don't believe you. But so I don't know. I just want them to play a really sound first half where you put their foot on the throat and you're able to work in a backup quarterback. You're able to get, Kobe Martin some carries. 2 true freshman tight ends can play a little bit. Defensive line combinations, linebacker. Safety depth is going to be an issue. Let's get them some game snaps. So
that we have a good question from
Luke. See it here. Who would be the next on the O-line?
Let me get Jamie Jordan's roster because Jamie does a fantastic job for us, and he has the scholarship charts and stuff like that. I will say that we'll probably go to the portal again in some shape or form because that's what people do now.
No, I think he means in terms of like other guys playing. I think Mahalski, the Ohio State transfer who worked a little bit at right guard and right tackle in spring, I think he's your 6th offensive lineman. So I think if anyone that's not a center gets hurt, he'll be the next guy. And then
there's no next year. I'm sorry, Luke. But Mikulski, who kind of struggled at Ohio State, and
left tackle, he played left tackle,
yeah. But so he talked a lot in fall camp about making the switch over to right tackle, and he's a lefty, and everything's backwards, and it's been a tough transition. It sounds like I would also put Austin Lepfried there as another guy who's coming in over right guard. He was in there in the spring, kind of limited because he had a cast on his hand, but not super limited. And then, Johnny Adedamala. Johnny was a guy who stood out in spring practice, and
guy's a unit. I mean, Big Ten body,
absolutely. But when things get moved around is like, let's say Pat Coogan goes out, who plays center. Bray Lynch was supposed to be the starting center before Coogan came in. Does he give you the best chance at center and you move over somebody with guard? But I think you're pretty there's just so many young guys. Evan Lawrence, Verstegen is a redshirt freshman. He's listed as the backup center, but that's not how things work usually. Evan Parker's a freshman. I'd like to see him play. Baylor Wilkin is another, freshman who looked good in camp and got praised. So yeah, this is where you use those 4 games.
Yeah.
And you have to use them smart because there are positions on the offensive line where you don't really want to burn through that red shirt just in case a guy gets injured. But
that counts the same. Like if he blocks on an extra point, like that counts as playing. So
I mean,
you got to be careful. Yeah.
That's kind of was part of the downfall of the Tom Allen era too, was his roster mismanagement and, playing Omar Cooper for 4 games on kick return without putting him out at wide receiver was a problem.
Yeah,
but
no question. But short-term expectations back to the original, like that would be my one for Saturday, and then Indiana State. It's like
I would throw anybody.
We need to play guys at
safety.
Jaja Boyd would be good to see. Like, let's get Seonta Stewart, true freshman, back there. Like, let's see at least what they do with some live
he
fire.
did not dress for the game on Saturday.
Okay, interesting.
So I don't know. I don't think he was not on the injury report, but I don't think Sig dresses everybody on the roster for home games, which is unusual. But maybe with the injury, he gets thrown into a role that maybe they weren't expecting. Amari, your guy from NIU, Amarian Knighton, do you put him at him at safety? Do you move to keep Boykin at Rover or flip flop him? I would just any combination that you could think of, put it in the next 2 games.
Yeah, so that'd be short-term expectation. Long-term expectations, I still feel like the goal is 10 plus wins. Like that should be realistic for the roster and the scheme and all that stuff. Like I'm not as concerned as I've seen others about the score of week 1. Like I thought they played really well. They controlled the game even after the first play touchdown. And then we come back, don't get the 4th down. And then our next drive, we fumble inside the 30-yard line. Like you flush those. I mean, the middle part of the game was just
Oregon was the number 1 seed in the college football playoff last year, and they beat Idaho
they should have lost
game of the year. Yeah. They should have lost their first 2 games, but they beat Idaho by 10 and just didn't look good. So that open now Oregon has a little bit more cachet and some wiggle room than IU with national pollsters, but it was a game that was outside of the first quarter, was never really in doubt.
It wasn't in doubt in the first quarter either, but
when they ripped off that first play, it was like,
okay, you felt terrible, but I wasn't like, oh boy, we lost, the season's over. I was like,
no, it was, they might have a chance. They might have a chance today. It's one of those plays when you're looking at a recipe for an upset. Happens.
He was pretty fast though, so I'm sure he'll.
Somebody said their backup quarterback was faster, and I really find that hard to believe.
That is
because if he is, they just need to run the triple.
Yeah, I mean he was pretty speedy. So, both their tackles were pretty good. Like that was a fine team. Like nothing wrong with beating them by 13 in week 1 with a bunch of new guys. And again, 13-point margin, but sure was different. And I know the college football playoff people are like, oh, you can't do the margin thing now. It's about, how you looked, but whatever. All right. We're up to like 300 people watching. So again, like, thanks Luke for the question there. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, like feel free, drop a comment. We'll see that. We can put some up on the screen, but Sammy, our buddy Dexter Williams comes back on Saturday. That's fun. Like, He had obviously
I feel really bad.
catastrophic injury, so it's nice to see him just playing still. But
yeah, it was like that. I mean that. So talk about sucking the air out of the stadium, and that's one of the big what ifs in IU. I guess IU history in the long list of what ifs. What if he stayed healthy against Purdue? I don't know. It's the same thing as Sudfeld staying healthy against Iowa in 2014. Do you come back and win that game? Purdue had no answers, but that was also a very good Purdue team, and they ended up scoring 30 some odd points. I don't know if IU would have outscored Purdue. Would they have had a better chance? Yes. Was that Michigan State double overtime win in the snow so much fun? Yes.
Looking back on it, not watching it, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a ton of fun in the radio booth too. I mean,
what's a forward pass? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see that again. We completed 2 passes that game?
Yes.
Completed 2 passes and won a Big Ten game on the road. Starting quarterback played the entire game. Two completions, won the game on the road in the Big Ten. IU will never do that again.
No, he was. I don't think the staff was ever sold on him. So he was the only recruit that quarterback recruit that Kalen DeBoer brought in.
Yeah.
What gives me that feeling is when Jack Tuttle was playing the bowl game with one arm, and you don't even give Dexter Williams a chance.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in the offseason, he has a knee injury. And then against Purdue, it was like a grenade went off in his knee. I'm really happy he's playing again. He does not look as explosive. That's obvious. Obviously explainable. But I wish him the best. I hopefully that they're not going to do a tribute video or whatever, but hopefully the people who notice him out there for warm-ups or when the Kennesaw State offense takes the field, you get a nice round of applause and stuff like that. Maybe some of the older students and remember that game. We'll give them a nice hand. Yeah. Return to Dexter Williams.
It's a cool little storyline. Like, good for him. He was at Georgia Southern or Georgia State last couple of years. So really cool. Good for him.
A year to recover.
Yeah. And that's what I'm like. Will I be rooting for him the rest of the season? Absolutely, 100%. I hope he throws 9 picks on Saturday. But look, anytime a guy represents the program the right way, he absolutely did. I will root for you. Like, he wore the jersey with pride. He wanted to play. He was a good teammate by all accounts. Spoke highly when he left, like all that stuff.
And it wasn't his choice. He couldn't play at this level anymore.
Yeah. The injury just kind of derailed any chance to remain the starter in the Big Ten. Like that's tough. Like for anybody, that's really tough. So that'll be cool. Like, fun little storyline. So again, hope he has just an awesome 10 games after Saturday, but I hope he gets to meet Mikhail and some of his buddies early and often.
Speaking of Kamara, are we concerned with his lack of production in game 1?
I called it out on my After the Dust Settles with Nate on Tuesday. So, I mean, if people watching haven't listened to that, like, check that out. We do that a day or two when the game is over, so we can kind of, digest it. Nick, we'll get to your question in a sec here, so we can address it. But yeah, Sammy, he had 1 tackle. He was not in the backfield. It was his first game at like his new position. So switching sides of the line, like, I would say, you said yellow flag when we first got on. That's a yellow flag for me. Like, you could have, like, he basically did. You could have said he wasn't on the field, and I would have been like, oh, okay, makes sense. It's week 1, like, whatever. But I mean, he was out there. He played a lot. He played in the second half. He played in the fourth quarter. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if he was like going
called his name.
Yeah, I think
they keyed on him.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's the same thing with Surratt and Cooper. Like, in the first half, they didn't even have a target, and everyone's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, just
You're going to have to pick your poison, and ODU picked their poison of we're going to try and take their stars away, and they did a pretty good job of it with all of them.
Except for Pons, but
I mean, if Cooper catches that ball, I think it changes everybody's.
And he will. He will. I'm not worried about him. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay,
Nick's question.
Yeah.
Any concern with the deja vu type game compared to FIU last year, with this year being year 2? With how Sig expects his teams to play and uphold the standard, just a weird vibe around the execution misses. That was something I said in our group text too, was just the vibe felt off. But we were also spoiled last year. I don't think people realize how fast it clicked for IU. They didn't drop a pass until like the week after Maryland.
Yeah.
And they played clean. They scored first. They didn't trail until November. And they fell behind early this year. So I don't think there's any concern yet. Again, if they play like they did against ODU against Kennesaw State, that is a little concerning. But remember, after they played FIU last year, they dropped 77 on Western Illinois and did not take their foot off the gas. So they're not going to score 77 against Kennesaw State, but I believe that they're going to have a better performance.
Yeah, I'm really confident in Saturday's performance. Concern, I would say no. And look, Nick, if deja vu means this season ends 11-1, okay, sign me up. Like I'll have deja vu again. Like that'd be pretty good. But no, like again, for me, it was like starting with Mendoza and then just some other players, plays, schemes, whatever. There was nothing that I saw. And again, I always say this, I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm not going to act like I know football like better than anybody, but like there was nothing. I watched a lot of football, but there was nothing I saw
systematically wrong.
No. And like, there was nothing that I saw that I was like, what the hell was that? What was that throw? He didn't see that guy. Like, no one blocked that guy. There was no free rushing blitzes. There were no special team botches. Yeah. We had 3 penalties. 2 of them were on returns of interceptions. Like,
and one was a bogus.
Like, one was ridiculous, which I talked about that on the podcast too. How is that not either roughing or a block? I don't know how that's running.
He clearly blocked the kick.
I don't know. That was
he
wild.
Clearly did. If you watch the replay in slow motion,
the
trajectory of the ball should have gone out, and as soon as it passed Isaiah Jones's hand, it went straight up.
Yeah,
I'm not a physics major, but I'm pretty sure something had to deflect it. Let's get to Evans. We got David C. Felt like the plan was for Mendoza to just pass to EJ and nobody else for a while. It did seem like that. I think they have a good connection. At least that's what they showed in fall camp.
Yeah.
They're comfortable. And if ODU is taking away Surratt and Cooper, you're going to go to the guy that they leave open. It's kind of like when LeBron played for the Heat. You got to choose one of them to beat you, and they're going to choose EJ Williams probably 9 times out of 10 until he proves he could stay on the field, or people are like, okay, we're not going to let this guy beat us either. So,
I don't know.
It was good to see him have a good game, though.
He probably needed to have a good game more than Elijah and Omar did. So I was fine with, like, he looked really good. He looked explosive, no drops, clean routes. Like, that was great. And like, I'm not worried about 13. I'm not worried about 3 at all. It was nice that we were like, we need a third guy to step up. IU last year, obviously EJ Williams, Miles Price, and Miles Cross were really solid. Or Keyshawn Williams, sorry, not EJ. Keyshawn, Miles, and Miles were really good last year for IU as kind of that 3rd, 4th option. Good start for EJ. So I think like stock up on EJ Williams after week 1. You're still going to need more guys behind him though. So it seemed like Bond and Becker were kind of next up.
For Jonathan Brady is going to be in there too. He was such a weapon he was such a weapon on punt return. We knew coming in that he hadn't done it since he was at New Mexico State.
Yeah.
But man, that punt return,
he looked good.
That punt return was a thing of beauty. Not only that, the blocking there was no dumb block in the back. There was whatever shielding, basketball blocking out, and stuff like that. And
who was
those mistakes.
Who was the walk on that had the block like right when he picked up the ball? Like 33? Is that like Clay Connor? Who is that?
I think it's Clay Connor. Let's look at
But whoever that was because he just kind of boxed him out, got down there.
33. Is it? No, Clay Connor's 36.
Maybe it was him.
Unless they changed numbers. It might have been Anthony Chung. Actually.
But yeah, I'll try to watch the replay really quick. But that was exactly what I'm talking about. Is like
Anthony Chung was 31 because he did get or Garrett Reese was 33. But Anthony Chung did get Special Teams Player of the Week honors as well, I believe.
There you go. That would probably be it then. I don't think it was Reese. I don't think he played.
He did play. So that he might have just been on special teams.
Let me see. I'm watching the replay right now. 36.
Clay Connor.
There you go.
Thanks, David. It was Clay Connor.
36. Yeah, I just watched it. Yeah, so he did the boxing out, and then David, you're all over it.
Like for a walk-on to do that means that you're super well coached and everybody is bought in. So obviously Clay Connor showed something in practice to get rewarded to be on that punt return unit, and he showed what he could do.
Yep.
So I mean, you're literally standing in front of a guy, so it's not the glory position that you would want.
Yeah.
But man, that block sprung a great return. So Jonathan Brady will be really good. Let's get to Evan's question with can Drew Evans become a day 1 or day 2 pick? He's so good. He's currently third best in pass blocker in the country. I think it depends on health.
Yeah, I think the first thing they're going to do is say he's older, he's slightly undersized, and he has blown his Achilles out in college.
Yep.
Look, if he plays well this year, I think he has another year after this year if he, probably uses it.
But if you're a day 2 or day 3 pick and IU's willing to pay you significantly in NIL, I think you come back to IU.
Yeah, and you can be a day 2, 3 pick guy and play in the league for a long time. But yeah, I mean, he could definitely get drafted. Day 1 pick, no. I'm just gonna say that. No, probably. Second or third round, I don't know. Probably not. Just based on what we've seen from other linemen. There's such a specific mold at every NFL offensive lineman position that they just look for exact measurables and testing scores and all this stuff that if you're not hitting it, your tape can be really good, but it's if you don't fit the mold, it's really, really tough to be a high draft pick as a lineman. So,
so let's get to Jamie's.
Yeah,
Jamie's
2 good
question.
ones back to back here. So we'll start with the first one.
Didn't really like seeing a total of 15 total players on defense, but hard to really play a ton of guys when you're only on the field for 45 snaps. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The game was also closer than expected, and you only have 45 snaps. I don't know if does that count punts and extra points and all that stuff?
True defensive, yeah.
Yeah, so 46 snaps is low.
Yeah,
I would love to see. I thought Ndukwe would play a bigger role. He's thickened up. I thought he was a special team ace last year. He blocked a couple kicks. Yes, I agree, Nick. It is way better than Discord. Everything was way better than Discord. So I think we have our forum platform. So
yeah, Ndukwe would be good. I don't know. I'm not worried about the Lions, and I'm not worried about if Fisher goes down. Obviously, you're worried about linebacker. I'm not really worried about the guy playing next to him as much. I think you'll have options there. Jones and Hardy both looked fine. So yeah, for me, it's the secondary. Like it's got to be Gandy or Knighton for me. Like I'd love to just see some more corners rotate in. Like Sharp, I thought was good. Pons was his normal self. So yeah, I would say it's either one of those corners or maybe Boyd at safety or Rover or whatever he's going to play. Like I'd love to see another safety play. Look, if Lewis Moore is ruled ineligible after this game on Saturday, I think IU has like legitimate. Like I have legit concerns about the ceiling of the team.
Yes.
At that point,
I
you have
agree.
literally you have Farrell, who's a stud, and you have Boykin, who looked fine, playing kind of a new position. Rover coming off an injury at NC State, so it's like.
Well, I think what also clouds it is Baldwin was hurt too.
Baldwin, yeah, you're right.
Sig did say
he's a true freshman. I don't care if you're a 4-star. He's a true freshman.
Right, which is why like you really, really wanted him to play in these first 3 games.
Yeah,
to get his feet under him, and by the time game 4 comes around, maybe the game slows down for him.
Yeah.
So, Evan, again, is our field goal range concerning? So I asked this question to Sig on Monday, not in that way, but Brandon Frankie is going to be the long kickoff guy, or long field goal guy. Where that threshold is, I don't know. Is it 45 yards? Is it 50 yards and beyond? Frankie is a strong leg. We saw it on kickoffs. I think that ball just got held up in the wind. It just hit a wall of wind. It was accurate.
Yeah, right down the middle.
I mean, if you're saying your field goal range is over 50 yards, I don't think there's a concern. Now, if it was just, Radicic and you say, man, we're not comfortable outside of 45 yards in the Big Ten, that's probably a problem.
Yeah. My thing is like if whatever, like Nico, I'm sure wants to kick every ball, like seems like he's that kind of competitor, which is great. If he knows he wants to kick and they say Frankie's kicking it, like he is going to be focused and ticked off and like ready to kick. Like if the system is he makes every field goal inside 45 yards unless it's blocked comfortably, and then you flip a coin on the longer ones, I would take that. Like he's been so money on the short and medium kicks that if that's the system that's going to keep him in a rhythm and comfortable, like I am totally fine with that. Like,
yeah.
And
when you're kicking those long field goals,
so it's like whatever. Like it's not like you're burning a scholarship. He's already on the team. So
yeah. I mean, the wind, it did pick up a little bit, but also when you get that ball up higher, kind of wherever the wind gets stopped from being blocked from the north end zone, it does get caught in that jet stream. Just like playing baseball in a minor league park versus a major league park, if you hit it high enough and the wind is blowing out in a minor league park, there's no third deck to block that wind. Now, look, if you're kicking a field goal and it goes over the edge of the stadium, you hit it way too high, but it does come down from the stands. And while the flags on the goalposts aren't moving, you could clearly see the flags around the stadium blowing in. So it did hit. It was accurate. It was 6 inches more. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
And you walk in. But if you look at Sig's face after the missed field goal, that's just, I think that's how everybody felt, was like the "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. 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 Pretty
running back rotation. Thanks, Luke, for this question. Thoughts on the running back rotation? Do you think they stay at 3 guys all year or go down to the 2 best later in the year like they did last year? I think they keep all 3, and I don't think they went down to 2 because of need. I think that was because Kalon was kind of banged up, and they didn't want to throw a true freshman in there. I think they go with 3. I think there's more diversity in it. You have Roman Henby, who could be that home run guy. He could catch the ball out of the backfield too. Kalon Black was more explosive than I thought. We saw it in practice.
Shifty.
And then, I mean, like you said after the dust pot, he just punishes dudes
Yep.
in the blocking game too.
Yeah.
It's as Buck said on the radio, it's a business decision whether or not to go at him.
Guys have been going up that A gap for a season and a game now on Kalen Black, and I mean he gets fired up to drop down behind the center and hit a guy. Like, if you have not noticed this, like people watching right now, like watch on Saturday if somebody blitzes up the middle and Black is in the game. Like, now that I say this, he'll like look the wrong way and give up a sack or something. But like, I'm telling you, watch this dude like chip and pass block. Like, he loves hitting dudes in the passing game. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yep. And then Lee Beebe, I thought, showed a lot of mental toughness coming back from that fumble. He's shifty as well. He's kind of that all-purpose back and scat back who could. It's kind of a blend of both of them. But
they didn't really throw, like, I think BB's going to catch like 15, 20 balls this season. Like, again, they didn't show anything on offense on Saturday, which I think is 100% by design. They're not going to say that. Sega's not going to say that in his press conferences and be like, oh, we did pretty good for only running 10 plays on offense. But like, they threw that one really nice slip screen to Hemby where they got, I think, Smith and Coogan out in front leading the brigade or the big red carpet. So I think BB is going to catch a bunch of balls. I think Black is going to do really well in short yardage. And I think Hemby will probably end the season with the most carries, like assuming everybody stays on the field. I think they're all a little bit different.
I think Hemby gets the most touches.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll get the most carries, but he'll get the most touches because I do think his receiving game, he's caught passes now in 29 straight games.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a good stat. Didn't know that.
Surratt is at like 39 straight games and leads the nation. But he's a guy who they're going to throw the ball to, which will take away rushes.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say touches. He's really good. He also returned the opening kickoff.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Yeah,
it was. And then they had other people return other kickoffs. And to me, that was more of a, oh, man, we just let up a 75-yard touchdown. Let's see if we could squash the momentum. And he kind of did. He got out to the 30.
Yeah.
Let's move to tight ends, too. Riley Nowakowski was we thought he'd be the blocking tight end.
Yeah.
He is more like Zach Horton than we thought. He is an absolute monster in the blocking game, and he has pretty darn good hands too. He's not going to burn somebody for 80 yards or anything like that, but he can catch the ball, turn up field, and get you 10 or 15 yards when needed. I thought Holden Stays played all right, but for all the again, he was a transfer who didn't go. He didn't fit the SIG philosophy of production over potential. He was always potential, potential guy, and the number one tight end in the portal. So you're going to take a chance. It'd be nice to get him, see what he can do as well. James Bamba is a good blocker.
He played a bunch of that jumbo pistol set with Nowakowski, which was interesting. State, again, I don't know. It's so hard for me to judge the offense on Saturday.
Because they didn't run anything. They didn't do
they didn't do anything. Like week 1 against FIU, last year, which I think you saw worse execution in. I think they did not know what they had as much, so they had to run more stuff to score and win that game. I think they knew we dominated. They did not have a drive over 6 plays on offense, Old Dominion. They scored 2 70+ yard touchdown runs on the first and last drive of the game. The middle of the game, they ran about 44 plays. Didn't snap the ball on IU's side of the field and did not have a drive over 6 plays. So I just think the offensive game plan was literally first read, pitch and catch. Let's establish the run game. Let's get the offensive line working together. Let's get 3 running backs carries. That all I don't know. So Stays, yeah, sure. I would have loved to have him see him catch 11 balls for 145 yards and 7 touchdowns, but I will save that production and when he will be called on and featured in passing plays for when teams are not expecting him to be featured in passing plays. So, yeah, it was not Walt Bell still, David. That's good.
And also to talk in comics, this is a new series. When we made the move over to Rivals, we thought we'd have a weekly chat. It obviously left Rivals not willingly, but so we wanted to engage the followers a little bit more than we usually do. So thanks for joining us. We've almost hit 500 views, Alex.
And then it's live too. We've probably that's concurrent, so it says like 475 right now. So these are the real IU football sickos. So we love you. I would say total views on this, we're approaching 46 minutes now. We're probably somewhere around like 1.2 million. So it's been, I would say, pretty productive. We've had over 1 million people in the last 45 minutes listen to us blabber about nothing. So,
but yes, I will take a vanilla offense over a Walt Bell offense any day. That Walt Bell offense was, and I defended Walt Bell for a little bit. But there came a point to be like, hey, like, what are we doing? And then he was just so arrogant. Yeah, that really turned me off. Like, if you're gonna be arrogant or confident, like Sig is confident, it might come off as arrogant to some, but he could back it up. And I think if you could back it up, it's confidence over arrogance. Arrogance is like, I know better than everybody else. I know that we're going to run the option against Ohio State. They don't know what will hit them, and all of a sudden it's first, second, and 30 because Brandon Sorsby got planted by JTT running the option.
And Sig, the other, like, he'll talk, but like he also took it on the chin last year, and like his press conferences against Ohio State and Notre Dame, he said we did not play well, but they played better than us and they beat us. Like, he wasn't like, oh, we should have won. It was fluky. We should have won, blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, he said we made huge mistakes and did not play our best, but both of those games, even talking about them this offseason, he was like, they played better than us. They beat us. Like, that's what you want. Like, he didn't run and hide from those. Like, we had tons of excuses and no accountability in the past two regimes, probably. So it's always refreshing. Not that you want to have a losing press conference ever, but gonna happen.
Yeah. So Fernando Mendoza's at plus 7,000 odds to win the Heisman. You taking a shot here?
If you're trying to make money, like, that's what you need to.
Kevin Malone told me if somebody gives you 10,000 to 1 odds on anything,
take it.
Take it. So maybe in a couple weeks if it gets to 10,000 to 1. But yeah, throw $1 on it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make money, that's what you have to kind of bet on. I don't know. Like, I'll say probably not. Like, feels like IU's got to go 11-1 again, and he's got to throw for like 4,000 yards. So I don't know.
Especially the way Nussmeier started.
Yeah.
He's probably the betting favorite. I haven't looked at the odds. I picked Jeremiah Smith, although wide receivers rarely win, but he is the best offensive player in the game.
I picked Jeremiah Love, but the Notre Dame offense did not exactly inspire me against Miami. But they'll be fine.
In order to get yards, you got to give him the ball.
Yeah, he's so good. But I don't know. That's, if you're going to try to make money, that's where you do it.
I bet as soon as Boise State went down big at South Florida, I got Tulane, I think, at plus 800 to make the college football playoff. It probably was higher a little bit before then, but that's
they beat the crap out of Northwestern.
They did. They also get a shot at Duke at home and go to Ole Miss. So if you split those, you should be you should be the highest rated Group of 5 team.
Well, if you beat Ole Miss, it doesn't count. Remember that.
Well, yeah, it's a fake game.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Yeah, it does. It's non-conference, so it doesn't count for.
But wait, if they're ranked, is it a quality loss for Ole Miss?
It is. So they would only need 3 more to make the playoff at that point, which would be good. So Texas, really good start for Texas. Really good start for Notre Dame. They just need like 2 or 3 more quality losses. Like Alabama, a couple more losses, they'll be like firmly in the picture. So that was good. Like, good start for them.
But yeah, let's go final thoughts, Alex. We've been here for almost an hour. If you have last call for questions, send them in. Well, Alabama, I don't know if that was a quality loss there.
No, it was. It was great. So they just need a couple more, and they'll be in a good spot. So
he's going to get fired.
Nah, I don't think so.
He is.
Maybe one day, not tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. I think I don't know if he makes it to the end of the season, but we'll see.
We'll see. I like him. I'll take him back. He can come back.
Offensive analyst.
Sure. Oh, if Shanahan gets hired, if we have another good year, he can come back.
Yep.
I don't know. Final thoughts. I'll be in Atlantic City this weekend, so
you could grab Mendoza at plus 7,000.
I will be responsibly wagering on IU to cover, which I know is like we're 5 touchdown favorites. Maybe I'm blinded or whatever. I'm chugging the Kool-Aid, whatever. I'm not saying we're making the playoff again, but I think this is a really good team. I think they're pissed. AC and AC, look out. They're not ready for me, like the Nashville bachelorette parties. I'll be with a bunch of IU guys, so really looking forward to that, playing a little golf. I'll be responsibly wagering on IU to cover against Kennesaw, to cover that 35.5, 34.5, whatever it is. The total, I think, is like 54, which is like super interesting. Vegas is just so good at it. Like setting the line, like that's such an interesting.
They are, and I never,
because it's like I don't know how much Kennesaw is going to score. Like Wake might be one of the worst Power 4 teams in the country. Kennesaw scored 9 points against them, so it's like IU is going to dominate on defense for sure. Like that, I'm very confident in. So it's like, is Kennesaw going to score more than a touchdown? I don't know.
You need 52-3 gets you covered, at least as of like 2 days ago.
Right. So that would cover the total, but then it's like, I don't know. So I'm thinking it's going to be like 45-7, something like that.
You're going to sweat it out.
I know. Well, I'm going to be, either way. But I'm not going to bet for us to not cover, and I'm probably not going to bet on the under. So
betting the under is like betting against fun. Like, why would you bet the under?
Yeah. So I'll get out there. Because I'm a Central Time Zone guy, so I got to get in the Eastern Time Zone. I gotta smell the Atlantic Ocean. You
don't want to smell New Jersey.
Well, I don't want to
get
anywhere near.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'll get a feel for it, and I'll see what happens. But,
watch out for the floaters out there, man.
That'll be good. But golf right into the IU game, a game they should win handily. That's always a good Saturday. So, final thoughts. Like, again, I was overall like pretty pleased with the game against Old Dominion. Thought it was a fine, like more than fine.
It was a boring game. I will admit that, and I'm fine with people leaving early, going, whatever, we're going to win this game. It's not very exciting. Look, I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money. If I'm spending $100 or whatever on a ticket, and I'm going to spend
my money on Mendoza for Heisman, though. Just if we're recounting, but
that's true.
Yeah.
But it's their choice, and it's fine. It was kind of a boring game, and the problem with college football is that there is so much downtime, and now everybody wants to watch every game all the time. And so you could be a diehard IU fan and be like, oh man, we're getting into that Florida State, Alabama territory where, okay, they're at a timeout, we could flip over or do the quad box on YouTube TV. Or whatever. So I get it. Hopefully I expect the same thing this week, and I expect the same thing against Indiana State. But hopefully when you get into conference play and the stakes get a little bit higher with postseason, people stick around, because they did last year in some pretty crummy weather too.
Yeah.
I mean, they stayed around with Maryland in the rain. They mostly stuck around to see them beat the brakes off of Purdue in the snow. So I'm done putting the fans on blast.
I'm not. It's my everlasting battle. It's not. It was 75 degrees with a breeze, and your team just made the playoff.
But maybe they didn't know that tickets were available.
That I don't know. I don't know. I don't buy that at all. But whatever.
They don't have Instagram. They can't tell if there's tickets on sale.
Yeah, I guess.
But I get it. It sucks to get outdrawn by Purdue in the opener. But
yeah.
Final thoughts from me. Noon kickoff, Kennesaw State. It should be a name your score game. I'd like to see them. There are boxes they need to check for me. Red zone efficiency. I think they might get more creative just to make sure that they score in the red zone. I want to see your safety rotation. Try people who haven't played there. Look, if you give up a big play because somebody's playing out of position, I'd rather have it against Kennesaw State than against Illinois.
Yeah.
And get used to that. Get out of it injury free, and then see what you have in your freshmen. This should be every freshman you think is going to play this year. Go out there and get them.
And then my last thing, I'll go for a couple minutes. I'll just make it an hour. But you mentioned Illinois. They play at Duke. I think they're like 1 point favorites at Duke.
2.5.
2.5. This is why you set up the non-conference schedules like you do, because Illinois, to beat Duke, is going to have to run actual stuff and put stuff on film. They can't just go out there and play a C game, a vanilla game, and win. They are going to have to put stuff that they're going to run all season on tape before IU plays them. IU is not going to have to do that before Illinois comes to Bloomington week 4. So I get all the schedule stuff. I really do get it. But
You're also
you would have scheduled Virginia and lost to Virginia, no one would care. If you beat Virginia, everyone's like, yeah, okay, you should have done that anyway. But now you're not going to have anything on tape. Like, you won't have anything on tape when Illinois comes to town week 4. You're going to have like real game tape against Illinois playing on the road against a Duke team that will be okay this year. That's a huge advantage.
They might actually be good this year.
They might be good. Mensa's sweet, their quarterback. But like that, I get the schedule stuff. I get it. But like that is a massive advantage for Indiana looking ahead to week 4. So
yeah, and it's all going to change. It's all going to change December 1st. Once the playoff determines whether or not they're going to expand and what the new format is, I think the Big Ten is going to go to 10 conference games. You gotta make it even, and they're not going to go back down to 8. You can't do this 5 and 4 stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why that Virginia game got canceled, because you would have only had 6 home games. So I think they're going to go to 10 games. There are rumors that the conference is going to expand to 20 teams, which whatever, I'm over it.
Give me some Florida action. I don't care. Screw
it.
Well,
we're going to have
give me some Georgia. Give me Georgia Tech and give me Miami. Whatever. Give me Atlanta and Miami. Why not?
It'll be 2 10-team divisions. We'll call one the Big East, and the Pac-10.
Yeah. Yep.
So the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's to me, the scheduling is just once the SEC went to 9 games and are requiring that 10th Power 4 game, the Big Ten. I'm just over it.
Yeah, Big Ten.
The Big Ten times 2.
Big Ten times 2. Yeah.
That'd be a cool logo. Bring back the 11 logo.
Yeah, that was a cool one. That was a good one. Yeah, 56-3. That's a good score. That would get me some cash. So, that'd be good. We'll see. I like that.
Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and we finally, I think we figured this one out, Alex. And then we'll, talking an hour IU football and with 552 people is pretty good. IU soccer should be wrapping up here too. Let's see if we could get a quick score before we get you guys out of here.
They were winning at half, right?
Yes, and they actually had the score bug on BTM Plus today. So
that's cool.
My text to them worked. I've been a BTM Plus subscriber since like 2011.
Yeah.
like OG BTN. It was BTN to go back then.
15 minutes left, 1-0 still. The chat saying.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
that's good. That'd be a good win or a good draw. Like St. Louis is great. So
they're nationally ranked. IU's in the top 5. This, as Evan covers soccer for us as well. This could be a team that goes well. The expectations at IU are always to go to the College Cup and win it all.
Yeah,
but it's a realistic goal this year.
Yeah, cool. All right, nice hour on a Wednesday. We'll do this again next week. Just wanted to give a midweek outlet for people to just come hang, listen to us talk about nothing, and ask some questions, chat with other fans. We'll do this again, so hopefully something folks can book.
And we'll do it for basketball too on usually probably on Monday nights because they usually don't play on Monday nights. So we'll do it for basketball. If there are other sport like an Olympic sport chat, we could do once a month. We work for you guys, so it's whatever you guys want. And so keep following us at Hoosier_Huddle on X, HoosierHuddle.com. And, subscribe. If you missed our summer special, I'm sorry. Price is raised to $30. And come check out the forums. They're free. Everything else we do. So we'll have Keys to Victory out tomorrow, Game Day Primer on Friday. And again, Indiana kicks off against Kennesaw State at noon on Fox Sports 1. Thanks for joining tonight.